Hello and welcome to this Black Talk Radio News Report. My name is Scotty Reed, where I get to give my opinions about opinions and commentary on whatever's coming down the news pipeline. So I came across this public Facebook post by a tattoo artist. So I want to take a look at this story, take a deep dive in this story, and ask some questions because it's kind of concerning to me. So when tattoo artist Michael Harold uploaded those before and after Nazi tattoo photos to his photo album, this is what he wrote. "We are not the mistakes of our past and anyone can change. At Red-Handed Tattoo Parlor, we will cover up swastikas for free. We will cover up pimp tattoos for free. And for survivors, we provide free areola tattoos for those who've had mastectomies. Pretty soon, this guy will be able to rejoin society, take his shirt off at swimming pools, and enjoy a better quality of life. Call or come by." So again, he's doing it for free. But first, let me say this. I do believe in redemption. I do believe in giving people second chances. But first must come a sincere repentance in that person's heart, and then an attempt to make recompense and, change their ways and not engage in that sort of whatever behavior. In this case, white supremacy, terrorism to be exact. But anyway, how does Micah determine whether this person is being sincere or not? To me, if you charge people for tattoo removals, especially Nazi tattoo symbols like that, that a person who is willing to pay how much ever that costs, to me, that shows sincerity and perhaps a change of heart. But if you're offering it for free, some people think that you're helping these people hide in plain sight, as someone on Facebook commented on what I had to post about it. So as some of you may know, I had to go to the courthouse yesterday, Gaston County Courthouse here in North Carolina, yesterday to deal with the fallout from a false arrest, and more on that in a separate video. But anyway, that's why I was at the Gaston County Courthouse on Wednesday. So as I and my mother were walking, as I posted on Facebook, through the parking lot of the Gaston County Courthouse, this guy who I had seen in the parking lot when we got out the car, he came behind us, from up behind us, and then so he's passing us, and then I'm looking at him and I notice, this bright red ink, and then I look closely at his hair, which was kind of thin, and this was a white guy, and I could see the Nazi tattoo on his head peeking through his hairline. And so I tell my mom about it, but he's gotten too far away for her to see. And in addition, I just want to mention that in Gaston County, we do have Confederate heroes mounting, which has been a subject of much protest in the county. And there's currently a lawsuit in the North Carolina courts about that. But I just want to point out that those are the intellectual racial daddies of the Nazi party. Hitler even gave these sort of policies shout outs in his book Mein Kampf. U.S. policies, talked about how they slaughtered the Native Americans, and then their racial policies, which they based on Jim Crow laws here at the time. So once we got up on the third floor of the courthouse, which is where they have like criminal cases, she sees the guy, in the hallway and tells me she then saw the Nazi tattoo on his head. And then next thought I had was, I wonder if this was one of those Ukrainians given safe harbor in North Carolina from the war Ukrainian white nationalists helped start in 2014. Putin didn't start this war. A civil war started against in Ukraine after the 2014 coup, which was backed by the United States. And I've done videos on this. So a number of Ukrainians have been brought to the United States, and I've noticed, like I went to a restaurant where my grandson was having a birthday dinner, and I noticed the van out there, and it had the Ukrainian, blue and yellow flag on it. And then I know, from news reports that some settled in Charlotte, and they was over there at I think it was the park where Martin Luther King Jr.'s statue is in downtown Charlotte. But anyway, that's where my mind went. That's where my mind went because as I know from my own reporting and doing research to do that reporting, that even is Jewish President Zelensky admitted that these Azov people, Azov Battalion militia, that they're Nazis. They are what did he say to Brett Baer of Fox News when he asked him about it? They are what they are. These are defenders of Ukraine. So giving the Nazis a pass, just like the U.S. government has given these Nazis a pass, and we shouldn't be doing that. So again, this person could go to this tattoo parlor and cover up his Nazi tattoo, but that doesn't mean he's changed his white supremacist ideology is what I'm saying, and it's more serious than that. Now, for those who have followed BTR News and BlackTalkRadioNetwork.com in general have known or know that I have reported on FBI report. There was a 2006 report during the Bush administration where the FBI issued this report, and much of it was redacted or blacked out, and we still don't have all the information because it names some names of some prominent people who were either in law enforcement or used to work in law enforcement. And once you reach high up the chain in law enforcement, you're always somewhere lurking in the background and what have you. So, but anyway, it talked about that, and in that particular 2006 FBI report, it used the term ghost skins, and that is when you have these members of these white supremacist groups, whether they be Nazis, neo-Nazis, neo-Confederates, you know, especially down here in South, although neo-Confederates are all across the country. But yeah, you know, it called them ghost skins where they don't have the visible tattoos. So again, some people thought that you are helping these people to not necessarily change their ideology, but help them cover up and infiltrate, you know, society and prevent them from being ostracized as they rightly should be. You know, whenever you're practicing any kind of religion or ideology that's talking about harming other people, talking about people are less than human, yes, you should be ostracized. We shouldn't allow them to be normalized into society. How has that worked out in the United States? It hasn't. You know, these people allowed to run roughshod over non-white people's civil and constitutional rights. But yeah, this should be a concern. So some of the headlines that are recent. Leaked documents indicate over 300 members of the far-right military oath keepers may be current or former Department of Homeland Security members or agents. Okay, oath keepers, January 6th. The SPLC also has them listed as a terrorist organization. Again, the archive.org, FBI report, white supremacist infiltration of law enforcement. Oversight.house.gov, so there's even been congressional hearings about it, white supremacist infiltration of law enforcement. And I haven't seen much reporting on it from the corporate news outlets, nor, you know, the alternative outlets where, like BTR News. So, yeah, it is very concerning that while this person, I don't know this tattoo artist, Michael Harold, and he may not be thinking about how he may be aiding and abetting terrorists. But I hope he thinks about it if he comes across this video. But now, you know, it just reinforces the point made by a fictional character in the Quentin Tarantino film Inglourious Basterds. And that's where the fictional character, Lieutenant Aldo Rain, Brad Pitt's character in this fictional war drama, said, "We like our Nazis in uniform. Then you can spot them just like that." Sounds logical to me.